In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use an AI agent to start affiliate marketing. Now, this AI agent will actually create a list of lead magnet ideas based on a niche that you give it. It is going to actually create the landing page copy, which is required and what people will actually see when they click on your link. It'll actually create a 7-day autoresponder sequence using what Russell Brunson called the soap opera sequence. And then it'll actually include a thank you page, and it'll recommend some affiliate offers altogether. And the great thing about this is that it'll actually do it for any niche, and it'll put it all in a nice Google Doc, which you see on the screen. And you can do this for yourself if you're just getting started or getting into a brand new niche, or you could actually do this as a service. So maybe you reach out to different YouTubers and tell them that, hey, I've got an opportunity to help you build a mailing list, and you set this up on autopilot. What's really great is that this actually will work for affiliate marketers. If you have your own software as a service, this literally works for everybody. In addition, this AI agent will help you create broadcast emails that you can send out every single day based on your niche, once again, and relevant topics. So once again, it'll actually deliver right to your Google Doc on autopilot, formatted correctly, and all you have to do is copy it, put it into your autoresponder sequence, and press send. Hi, my name is Austin Godbold, and I teach platform-proof monetization. I show you step-by-step how you can make money online without having to worry about unpredictable and unstable algorithms. So what we've got today here is really cool. We are using N8N to build out a simple automation. But basically, it has the same steps repeated over and over again, and we will start email marketing. Now, if you're not aware, email marketing is one of the only ways that you can consistently show up in front of your target audience. If you're relying on YouTube, for example, unfortunately, their algorithms change. What worked last week will not work anymore in some cases, and you only get shown to a very small portion of the people that actually follow you. And so if those people aren't online, or if those people aren't engaging with your most recent content, it is very possible that your great videos cannot reach them. However, if you're building a mailing list, which I certainly recommend, you can send out an email every single day letting them know that you uploaded a brand new video that they should check out, which will be valuable. So as you can see here, this is a really simple process, and we're going to go through it step by step. Now, if you want the exact blueprint here, in fact, if you want both blueprints, if you want the prompts that are included with both blueprints, and you want it all done for you, the easiest way to get this is to join my community, where you get this blueprint and any other blueprint that I've created. You also get access to me with live coaching, live one-on-one sessions, and much more. If you want to learn more, go ahead and click the link in the description. But let's go ahead and run this, and I'll give you an idea. The first thing that we want to do is we want to change our niche, because right now it says bowling for beginners. Let's change that to basket weaving. Basket weaving is our niche, easy for me to say. And once we set this, we can just click test workflow, and it'll go ahead and set everything up. The first thing that it's going to do while this is working is it's going to create a Google Doc with today's date and our niche. And then it's going to give us lead magnet ideas. It's actually going to give us 3 of them. We could change that to 5 or 7 or 9. It doesn't really matter. And then based on that, it's actually going to put the lead magnet ideas inside of a Google Doc. Let me show you what that looks like, because the Google Doc should be created. As you can see here, we've got the 3 lead magnet ideas already inputted. And as you can see here, it actually came up with a recommendation as well. So it will take a look at the lead magnet ideas. It is going to make a recommendation, suggest the best one. And the reason why I want to have an AI agent do that is because we fall in love with a particular idea. Us as humans fall in love with a particular idea. And if we can remove ourselves out of it, if we can take the emotion out of it, it can make the best recommendation for us. So after it chooses the best lead magnet for us, it then goes on to create a landing page. If you are unfamiliar, a landing page is the first page that they go to. It's a one-page website that your viewership will go to after they click the link. The landing page will consist of a headline, a subheadline, and usually a space for an input box for their name, their email, and then a submit button. That's the only thing that should be on a landing page, and this automation does it for us. And then if we scroll down here, after that, it will actually come up with a 7-day email sequence. And what's really cool about this is that it uses the soap opera sequence. This is something that Russell Brunson, who is a famous marketer, said is the best way to actually connect with your audience. Okay, it actually does that for you automatically. And then the final step is to make a thank you page. And our thank you page is going to be a little bit different. Most people will say, hey, thanks for signing up, check your email. But we're setting up a thank you page to start building a few commissions right away. And to do that, we have recommended products that people can click on and potentially buy. Now, the conversion rate on a thank you page is really low, but you might have 1 or 2 people that click and buy. So if we look at this, we're going to go to basket weaving. We scroll all the way down. It actually creates the emails for us, and it takes care of everything that we need. And then at the very bottom, it has that thank you page. And all we have to do is simply copy, paste it into a ClickFunnels account, Gbolt Systems, any one of those. And then you just have to worry about formatting. But this is going to save you time. This is going to save you money having to hire somebody to do this. And it's going to save you frustration. Okay. And then the second one that we've got here is a real simple one. It's, again, sets the niche for us. It creates the Google Doc based on the date and our niche. And then it goes and checks the different RSS feeds for relevant topics. It combines what it finds on RSS and combines it with our niche, and then it creates a Google Doc. So every single day at, I think, 4 a.m., you could have a email delivered to your inbox that you can just copy and paste and put right into your autoresponder, so like Gbolt Systems or your broadcast mailing system. And then at the bottom, you can add in affiliate links or a call to action, and 90% of the work is done for you. So if I just test this one, but before we test it, I'm going to change the niche to, let's say, like auto detailing. And I'm going to click on save, and I'm going to click on test workflow. It went through. Hopefully that happened. Actually, I got to unpin these. I was going to say, why did that happen so quickly? Let's test the workflow once again with auto detailing. Okay, this time it went and created it, so that's great. Let's go back over here, and we look at this auto detailing May 28th, which is today's date. And it actually already created it. How cool is that? And if we look at this email, in light of the recent headlines regarding evolving relationships and negotiations internationally, easy for me to say, specifically the high-profile discussions between various world leaders, it's essential for our auto detailing community to reflect in our own endeavors. That's interesting. We'd have to read through to one thing that I would probably encourage, at least with this workflow, is to dumb it down a little bit. We want to write it so that it's at a 5th or 6th grade level for a few reasons. One, a lot of the people that might be seeing our content might be international. And some of the words on here, a pertinent tip, for example, might be too high level, or it might be a word that they're not used to. And we just don't want to confuse people. And if you talk at a lower level, it's easier to relate to people. If you talk at high level and use $50 words, it can turn some people off. It can make them feel inferior or stupid. And if they feel that way, they're not going to buy from you. So now that we have the foundation of what we are doing today, let's go ahead and get this knocked out. And I think what we should do is start with the easiest one first, which is going to be this one. This one is only 5 steps. So let's go ahead and get this one knocked out. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to go over to create a new workflow. And what we want to do is we want to call this, we're going to call this broadcast emails. Okay, so broadcast emails. And what we can do is we can click on our first step here, and we want to trigger this on a schedule. Okay, and then what we want to do is we want to trigger this every single day at 6 a.m. before you wake up. You want to trigger this. And then the next step is real simple here. We're just going to set the node. And to set the node, the reason why we want to set the node is so that we can enter in our niche. So we can do this programmatically, right? So the first thing we want to do is we want to do niche, and then this is where you can just change out the niches. So for our niche, let's think of a niche. Let's say YouTube growth. And the cool thing about doing it right here is that if I want to come up with a new niche idea, I just need to change it in one place instead of at 15 or 16 different places, right? So the next step is simply to create a Google Doc. And to do that, we're going to go to Google Docs just like this. We're going to click on Docs. And then here we're going to create a document. And what I like to do is I like to create the document, as you saw, based on the date and based on the niche. Makes things real simple, and it lets me know. What we could even do is we could just type in something like broadcast emails and then whatever the date is. That might be a simple way to go. If you only have one niche, it makes your life much simpler. But what we can do, because Innate-N is a drag and drop system, is that we can just drag this right over where it says readable date, drag it right over, put it right there. Green means it's good. And the only other thing that we need to do, a couple things, is we need to connect a Google Docs account. You probably don't have one connected, and that's okay. We just click on create new credential. And what we would need to do here is we need to go to Google Cloud. So if we go to Google Cloud like this, Google Cloud Console, click on this. If you don't have an account, create one. It's free, right? And so you're going to click on APIs and services. From here, you're going to type in Google Docs, and you're going to click on Google Docs API. Once you click on that, you're going to click on Enable, okay? Once you have that, the next step is to go back over to APIs and services and go to Credentials. And then under Credentials, you're going to need to create an OAuth 2.0 client ID. Now, do not share this with anybody, okay? If you share this with anybody, people can run up the bills in your account. This is like a secret username and password for your computer. You don't just share it with random people, so don't share it with anybody, right? But up here, you're going to click on Create a New Account, create OAuth client ID, and walk through the process, okay? So you're going to click on application type, and you're going to say window application, give it a name, and then where it says add URI, you're going to add on this URI right here, where it says OAuth redirect URL. You're going to add this. So you're going to click and copy, come back over here, click on add URI. Oh, sorry, wrong place. You're going to click right here, and you're going to click add URI. You're going to click create, and then it's going to give you a client ID and a client secret. You're going to take that client ID and that client secret. You're going to copy and paste it right here. Again, don't share that with anybody. That's why I'm not sharing mine with yours. Once you do that, you're going to click save, and then you're going to see Google Docs account. It's going to be connected. What you're going to want to do next is, if you already have a Google Docs account, which you should, is you're going to come up here and you're going to click on refresh list, and then your drives should show up, okay? And then you're just going to pick the folder name or ID. This means it's going to the main folder. You might want to create a separate folder for your broadcast emails just to make life a little bit easier and know exactly where to go. So now that we've got that, I'm just going to hit the space bar and then click test step, and that should automatically create our brand new email. So right there, broadcast emails, May 28th, 2025, 7:11 a.m. The next thing that we want to do is we want to add an AI agent, and we're just going to click on AI agent just like this. And what we are going to do is change this from connected chat trigger node to define below. We want to tell the agent what to do. Before we tell the agent what to do, we're going to click on chat model, and we are going to select OpenAI chat model. This is telling the AI agent which type of chat model to use. And for this one, we are going to use the default GPT-4o Mini, right? We're going to leave it there. So what you're going to have to do here probably is you're going to have to create a new credential, and you're basically going to follow the same process. Click create new credential. Here, you're going to have to go up to, you're going to have to search chat GPT ChatGPT API just like that. Go here, log in or create an account, go to API platform, and follow the steps to create an API key. Again, don't share this with anybody. What you are going to want to do is you would want to go over to, click on dashboard, and then come over to where it says API keys, and you're going to create an API key just like that, right? Real simple, real easy. Once you have your API key, you're going to copy and paste it right here. It may ask for the base URL. It shouldn't, but you're going to copy it, click save, and you will be all done. Now, there's a couple other things that we have to do before we can just use this AI agent. One is to use a tool, and the tool that we want to use is the RSS feed so that it can go out onto Google Trends and look and see what's trending. And to do that, we're going to have to go get a Google Trends RSS feed. And this is real simple. We're just going to go over to Google and we're going to go to trends.google.com. We are going to click on Trending Now. And then where it says Export, we are going to click on RSS feed, copy the link that's up here, and then we are going to paste it right there just like that. Okay. And then one other tool that I've been using pretty frequently is the Think tool. I always tell my AI agent to use the Think tool to make sure I'm getting the best output. All right, so now that we've got that, we are going to double click into our agent, and now we need to come up with a prompt. And our prompt is going to be pretty thorough. And so I'm going to copy this over, and I'm going to, first I'm going to change this to expression, and I'm going to paste this in. So let's just go over what this prompt does. It first sets the tone for the AI agent. It tells the AI agent that they are an expert email copywriter with real-time insights into current events. And so we actually include the niche as well. And then it says each day you will, and then it tells it to go out and get the RSS feed and then find one or two relevant stories and then find a way to make the connection. Then it says, then generate a daily email with a subject line, a body that's up to 200 words, a hook, relevance, a countable insight, and then potentially a soft call to action. And then what I had to add to make sure that this worked every single time was to make sure that the AI agent never just reported back that there were no relevant stories found, because if you don't tell it to, it's going to look for stories relevant to bowling or basket weaving, or whatever your niche is. But a good email copywriter will find a trending topic and make the connection. For example, we saw that Todd Chrisley, who was arrested at one point in jail, can we find a way to connect Todd Chrisley to basket weaving or bowling? A good copywriter will find a weird way to make that connection. And so we want to tell it to make sure that you always report that. And then also at the very bottom, make sure that you tell it that you have included 2 tools, because if you don't tell it to use those tools, it will not. Okay. So in there, it says, I have included 2 RSS feeds. You are writing the email as if you are talking directly to your niche. Make the email powerful, impactful, and compelling. Actually, I might get rid of, you know what? I'm just going to add in a sentence. I have also included the Think tool to ensure that we get the best output possible. Okay, so let's test this to see what happens. Now, hopefully we get a properly formatted broadcast email that we can review, make a few changes, and then send out. This is going to take, it's already done. All right, so kickstart your channel with trending sports events. Hey creators, exciting news in the sports world. The upcoming match between the All-Stars and Manchester United has everyone buzzing with high-stakes action. This sounds all right, but I might want to come back in here and say, please write at a 5th grade level and do not use trendy words or industry jargon. Use simple and plain English. All right, so let's go ahead and test that, see if we get a better output. And if we get a better output, the final step really is just to put our new content inside of a Google Doc. Score big with the All-Stars versus Man United body. Hey there, YouTube creators. Did you hear about the exciting match between blah, blah, blah? This is buzzing with excitement. I don't like buzzing with excitement. It sounds weird. But the final step is to update our Google Doc that we created. So we're going to type Google Doc again, just like this. We're going to click on Update Document. And because we got the credentials before, we don't have to redo it. What we can do is we can drag and drop the ID that was created when we created the Google Doc. We're going to drag and drop that right there. And this is all done automatically now. So, when we run this every day, all of this is just going to happen in the background. And what we can do is we can go down to where it says text, and we're going to drag and drop output, put it right there, test the step, and it was a success. So if we go back over here to our broadcast email, you can see now we have the email that was created and it's formatted correctly, we can just copy and paste this right into our autoresponder, our Gbolt system. So one thing that we could do to take this a step further is we could come back over to this one and say, toward the bottom of the email, transition to promoting, we'll say vidIQ as an affiliate marketer. Include a link to include a spot for my affiliate link. Okay, so let's update that and see where that goes. And while that's working, I'm going to delete this and see if we can get a better output. Okay, so let's test this step. And now we've got this. Hey, sports events can boost your channel growth. I like, this is better. This is a better headline. Did you catch the buzz about the All-Stars racing off Manchester United? Big sports events like this create tons of excitement and conversations everywhere. For us in the YouTube world, this is golden. When you tap into these popular moments, you can attract viewers who want to join the conversation. In 2023, sports-related videos saw a huge spike in views. This means viewers are searching for highlights, reactions, and discussions. If you want to take your channel to the next level, consider using vidIQ. It's a fantastic tool that helps you find the right keywords, tag your videos smarter, and optimize your content for maximum. Okay, so, we can kind of manipulate a little bit to get a little bit more out of it, but this is a good start. And again, this is going to save you time. One of the hardest parts when it comes to email marketing is staring at the blank screen and trying to figure out, what am I going to say today? And this alleviates that for you. So now that we've got the easy one out of the way, let's go ahead and do the not as easy one. Okay, make sure too that you are saving early and often, because if you don't save, you could run into a situation where you accidentally refresh or lose connection, and then all of a sudden everything that you worked hard for is just gone. So you don't want that. Save early, save often. What we're going to do next is we are going to create autoresponder sequence using the soap opera. And for this one, we can move a little bit faster because a lot of the foundation has already been set up. We just need to make sure that we are using the right prompt so that we can get the most out of it. So the first thing that we want to do is, once again, we want to set our niche. And for our niche, what can our niche be this time? So we're going to type in niche. And for niche, we are going to say, let's say our niche is home security cameras. Okay, great. So we will test the step just to get that in there. And I'm going to save this so that it doesn't have to keep working. The next thing that we want to do is we want to create a Google Doc. And here, Google Docs, just like this, and create a document. Now we are going to, again, follow a lot of the same steps. We are going to use my drive. We can save it to our home or create a folder for it. And we're going to call this soap opera, and then our niche, just like that, right? Oops. And if we test that step, that will create a file for us. Okay, now that we have that, the next step is to actually create an AI agent that will actually build out a lead magnet, give us lead magnet ideas. And so once again, we are going to define below, and I'm just going to copy this prompt over. This prompt is pretty thorough, pretty in-depth, but I'm going to copy this prompt over, and it's basically telling the AI agent to give us 3 ideas based on our niche. Okay, so if we make this a little bigger, hopefully we're able to just drag and drop. So we can drag this over like this. And green, once again, means good. And we are going to drag that up there like this. And one other tip or key that I have for you is make sure that you are pinning the answer so that you're not using or reusing the models over and over again. Now, speaking of models, what we need to do, for this one, we're going to use ChatGPT 4. And so we are going to use, for this one, ChatGPT 4, like that. And then we're also going to use the Think tool once again. And so let's go ahead and test this step. Now again, the great thing about this is that you can do this for yourself. If you want to get into a new niche or you want just different ideas, you could start a service, a little agency where you're doing digital marketing for people that don't have the time or the want to or the energy, right? So after that, now that we've got this output, the next step is to actually store our output. So we're going to go to Google Docs and we are going to update a document and we are going to drag and drop the ID just like this, scroll all the way down, and we're going to drag the output over like this. What I would recommend for this one though is give it a title. So we're going to say lead magnet ideas and hit return a couple times. And then if we test the step and we go back over here to look, this is our output. Okay, not bad. The next step, now that we have that, actually I'm going to pin this just like that. You can press P as well to pin those, just to make the process a little bit faster. Okay, so the next step is to create another AI agent. And basically what we're just going to do is we're going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And what we could even do potentially is we could just kind of copy these two. We could copy and duplicate. Whoops, I didn't mean to deactivate that. We could copy and paste these to move even faster. But to show the process, we're going to go AI agent. We're going to define below. We're going to choose the chat model like this. Once again, we are going to use 4. We're going to grab the think tool once again. Okay, we've got that, we've got that. And then next is our prompt. And so we need to open that up. And remember with this one, it is making a recommendation. It is telling us which lead magnet to use. We are going to delete that. We should be able to drag and drop this over. Okay, so right now it's telling us to unpin Google Docs and execute. So we might have to go back and unpin that to get that to work. And then for this one, we're going to feed in the lead magnet ideas that we got from the last step or the 2 steps ago so that it can make the decision for us. So what we've got to do is we're going to go back here and we are going to unpin by pressing P and we are going to test step. So now you can see that they're green. That's good. We're going to test the step and we're going to get some new output. Let's scroll down and let's see. Actually, nothing will show up there, but in a minute, probably about 15-20 seconds, we'll get some new output. Just want to open this up and show you guys what this was. It reviews the 3 from the previous step. It evaluates them and then it selects it and gives it a reason why, which is really cool. Again, it's saving us time, helping us eliminate frustration. And just like this step, we are going to put this inside of a Google Doc. Update document. And what's really cool is that this is just going to update the bottom. It's going to be added to the bottom of the document that we've already started. So we're going to go down here to text for the output. I'm going to hit return a couple times, give the previous step a little space. And then I'm going to say lead magnet idea, I guess we can just go with that. And then if we test the step, we've got it worked. And if we look here, lead magnet idea, this is the selected lead magnet. How cool is that? And so what we're going to do is we are going to pin this one just like that. And what are we going to do? We are going to duplicate this one. And what I would encourage you to do is, in addition to saving frequently, make sure that you are labeling your agents so you know exactly what they do. For example, this one takes we're going to click on rename and we're going to say select lead magnet. Okay, so we know. We're going to take this one and we're going to rename to lead magnet ideas. Rename. And with this one, we are going to come down and we are going to ask it to, what is this one? This one actually creates a landing page. So we're going to rename this one to landing page or landing page generator. Okay. So with this one, we're going to take a nice long prompt. We're going to actually copy this one from the previous step here. We're going to click on this to expand it, go all the way down and paste it in. Now we're going to get some errors because we made a few changes, right? So what we're going to do here is we are going to delete this and we are going to drag and drop this over. If you ever run into this issue, one simple thing that you can do is you could actually add in what's called a set node. And what you're going to do is you just give it a name and we're just going to call this We're going to call this selected lead magnet. Test the step. Let's see. All right. So what we had to do here is we had to tell N8N what we want to use, what we want to look for. And with this, we actually had to configure just a little bit and let it know that we wanted to use this selected lead magnet. And we're going to test this step. All right, so after we configured everything, we set the node to we want to prepare to let the landing page creator know which lead magnet we went with. Okay, so we're just going to pin that. We're going to come down here and we need to make a slight change. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to drag this over like that, and then lead magnet info. And we're going to delete this. Okay, and so we are going to choose a chat model once again. And what you can do, one really cool trick that I learned, is that you can actually drag and drop these to tools in different AI models that you're already using. And then if we I gotta unpin this. If I click on test step, hopefully we get some good output. And then once again, we can actually put the output inside of a Google Doc, right? So if we look at this, it comes up with a headline, subheadline, and really helps us to start getting conversions. Once again, we are going to go to Google Docs. Inside of Google Docs, we are going to update. Once again, we are going to grab the document ID, put that in. Next, we're going to come down to text, and we're going to put that in. We're going to change this to an expression like that. And then one thing, once again, is I'm going to hit return a couple times, and I'm going to put in landing page just to make things simpler. Test step, great. So we've got that. And then guess what? We make another AI agent, but this time it's going to be for our autoresponder sequence, our soap opera sequence. And once again, let's copy this, and then I'm going to do Command D if you're on a Mac, and just like that, we've got the two. We can drag this over just like that, double click. We're going to change the name to autoresponder, and we've got to make a few changes here. First, namely, and most important, we've got to get our prompt. And we're going to paste that prompt in just like that. And then we have to make sure that we map our things properly. And so we should be able to drag this over like that. We got the green, and basically it's just giving us an outline of framework for the day. I'm also going to include one thing. I'm going to say also include a short welcome and a link for them to download the lead magnet they signed up for. And then the other thing I want to add is I want to make sure that you ask them to respond to the emails to increase open rate and trust with the mail servers. All right, so cool. And rename. Let's go ahead and test this step. It's not going to work because we didn't connect anything. So to do that, once again, we're just going to borrow the ones that are already out there. And we're going to borrow this one and then test the step. And while that's waiting, really the final step to all of this is to create a thank you page. And again, the thank you page is going to include affiliate links, which allows us to potentially start making some money early on in the beginning. Okay. Now, again, the conversion rate on a thank you page is like 20%. You probably will not see a bunch of conversions early on, but as you continue to create content and you get in front of more people every single day, you'll start seeing some trails trickle in, some sales trickle in. And I do want to let you know before I continue that this is all for informational purposes. I'm not in any way guaranteeing you that you will make money online. This is something that I've learned and I wanted to pass on. So let's go ahead and get over here to Google Docs. What we want to do is we've got that correct. And let's I'm going to delete this to make sure that we've got the right thing mapped. That's mapped correctly. And I'm going to click on test step. And if we scroll down, we can see that our 7-day email sequence is here. Okay. And once again, if you want all of these prompts, they're all available inside of my membership community, and you'll have access to me where you can ask more questions, right? And so the final step, you guessed it, we're going to create a landing page. And again, this is all designed to save you time. You might think, Alston, this is taking a bunch of time in the very beginning. However, this is going to save you a bunch of time at the very end. You only have to do this once. Let's see. Write a 7-day email sequence. Oh, let's change this here. So we're going to copy this and we are going to paste this in. So you are a conversion copy expert optimizing post opt-in experiences. For the thank you page tied to the lead magnet, we can grab the lead magnet. It's going to produce a headline, so like a thank you, and then ensure the page feels seamless, builds trust, and sets up the email sequence. So we need to add in lead magnet info here. So I'm going to delete this, and selected lead magnet is what we want. So now that we have that, we need to add our model. We're going to use ChatGPT, but you can use any one of these if you wanted to. Let's use 4 like that. And then if we wanted to, we can include the think model as well. But let's go ahead and test the step. Hopefully we get all greens and we get an output. And then the final step is just to move our output into a Google Doc and it's delivered to our front door. So if let's see, this is the 7-day email sequence. Great. Let's go ahead and get this over to a Google Doc so that we can, let's open this up. And then I'm just going to say thank you page. Thank you page. And I'm going to delete this to make sure that we've got the right one mapped. Click on test step, and there we are. Congratulations and thank you. Welcome to your 7-day crash course on maximizing home security. Expectation paragraph, secondary call to action, affiliate pitches. How cool is that? So that is the entire process. Now, we did this in about 45 minutes. If you have the blueprints, if you followed along with me, it took about 45 seconds. However, if you have the blueprints, which you can get them in my community, you'll be able to do this in about 15 minutes. And if you run into any issues, you can reach out to me and say, I got stuck here. I will also include a ton of other tutorials that are all in one place. I have a bunch of tutorials on YouTube about getting started with AI agents, but you might find them scattered or distracting. Come to the community, you'll find them all in one place. Now that you know how to start email marketing with AI agents, make sure you watch this video next if you want to learn more about AI agents and making money.